start with Jessica, and we'll just go around, and all the presenters can talk about what they're offering.
Awesome. I'm Jess. I run happygocrafty.com, which is my professional site for all the different crafts that I teach. I have a master's in crafts education, and recently I've gotten really into cross stitch. It's super easy and it's really fun to make customizable gifts. So I brought some examples of some of the things you can do. This frame came from a thrift store, and I've got lots of this Ada cloth that you can use to sort of chart your own pattern. So I've got a lot of different choices up here. I'm actually running a pattern sale. I sell these on my Etsy website, but tonight they're buy one, get one. So you can get one of these and try to do one of my patterns, or I can show you how to make up your own pattern and make it say whatever you want. I brought a lot of vintage cross-stitch books that we can update with a more modern palette and make it look less 70s or 80s, or more so, depending on what you want. And we're just gonna be stitching over here. So I'll be introducing you to how to use embroidery floss and sewing needles and Ada cloth and thinking in graphs.
And I am going to be doing organic herbal tea blends. I have a bunch of herbs for you all to try and some hot water for you to actually taste them. And then I have some handouts with information on just tips on how to blend your herbs, like where to get your herbs, and then how to like gift them so that they're really beautiful and the people who receive them will actually like drink it. So yeah, if you're interested, come check it out.
I am going to teach how to make wreaths, and everything is out there because there's a lot of it, a lot of materials, because I thought I was going to have 10 wreaths happening. These wreaths are all going to be wild gathered greens. The theme is the wreath should reflect your last walk in the woods. Real simple to make them, and way more gorgeous than any wreath you can buy.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and we're going to be making these needle felted Amanita muscaria ornaments for your Christmas tree.
I'm Asha, and I'm able to show you a craft that's really easy to make with your kids. So you can go home and make it with your child if you want. And it's beautiful. One of them is a Christmas tree ornament, and another is a really nice greeting card that anyone, a child or adult, can have lots of fun and be successful at. Thank you. And I'll be over here at this table if you want to do that.
Great. And I'm going to be doing candy making. And I have a few different projects, which we can, whoever comes over, we can choose what we want to do. We also can make a little origami box and package them up for gifts. So these are lemon ginger drops. We can also choose to make peppermint patties. And I've already made some coconut milk caramels that we can hopefully cut and people take home before leaving. So if you want to make candy, this is my fiefdom. Great. Break.
Well, actually, I realized I have one other thing. I'm not going to really, I'm going to tell you how to do it now. To get the supplies marshaled right now wouldn't be that easy, but there's a planter out there, an herb planter. It's very easy to make an herb planter. For a lot of people, that'd be a wonderful gift. So I'll show that to anybody that's interested.
Another thing to mention is that most people probably brought instructions and handouts for everyone. So if you don't get to work on a project tonight, you can just see the instructor and take home the materials list and instructions, and you can do it on your own time.
Yeah, I have the handouts right here, and then if you're interested, I also have the baggies for you to make your herbal tea blends. So if you have your own herbs and you just want to have something to gift in, you can come and grab some bags and some handouts.
All right, so this is an Amanita muscaria. It's the quintessential toadstool mushroom, and it's in Christmas colors, and there's even a Christmas story associated with this that I'm going to share with you guys, and it makes a nice little ornament for the tree. So we're going to start. Everybody has a felting needle and some wool roving and a foam pad. So who here has felted before? Or has any experience? Okay. Everyone here is familiar with felting, so I don't need to go into explaining how it works. On each, I'll just go ahead and talk about it. So on each little film, like each little strand of fiber, of wool fiber, there are other tiny hairs that stem off from the main shaft. And those other tiny hairs, when using a special needle that has barbs on it, very, very sharp needle, it twists and tangle the fibers together, and it helps them to remember that they belong together. And before long, it starts to form and shift in whichever way you want it to. So it's almost like hand building with clay, except you're using a needle and wool, sculpting. This is merino top wool. It's not the ideal felting wool, but it's what the felting store had. I buy a lot of my wool from Earth Guild downtown. This you can feel is rougher, and this is the most ideal for felting. You can feel how it's already kind of fuzzy and roughed up a little bit. So this is a really simple craft, and it's kind of addicting. You'll see. The foam pad is here because if you hold it and felt, you're likely to poke yourself, and usually you bleed a little when you poke yourself. It hurts pretty bad. So this is just for our safety. It's like the little surgical table. So if you take your white, we'll start by forming the stem of the mushroom. And we're going to pull off a piece about 12 inches long by 2 inches wide. So about a third of your wool. And then if you begin to fluff the fibers out, the more, it's counterintuitive if you're wanting something to stick together to fluff it out. So if you fluff it out and kind of expose all these little fibers, it's going to make your felting go faster in the end. And so we just want to gently fluff our ribbon of wool out. So it's nice and fluffy. And then once it's all fluffed out, you just want to fold it in half lengthwise.
And you probably want to use the green.
And loosely roll it into a cylinder.
Me neither, but it makes sense.
While you're doing that, you can just jam the forest fabric over. Stretch this down.
Lengthwise, or the lengthwise, so that would, like that. Boop.
Quarter teaspoon.
And so you should have a cylinder that looks something like this. Okay, and now we're just going to put our stem onto the foam pad and just begin to pierce the fibers all across. As you're doing this, it's important to roll the stem so that you're maintaining a cylinder shape. You're already bleeding? I hope everyone signed. No. When I teach felting classes, though, I do have releases, liability releases. You never know, these needles are really sharp.
Where have you taught felting, at your house?
Just at my house. So at first it seems like, oh, is this doing anything? But after a minute, you'll really start to feel the fibers grab onto each other and shrink. It's very palpable. So if you just keep rolling and poking and rolling and poking. And then you can get to a point too where you might want to pick it up and start to fold in the fibers at the end. Only on one end do you want to create a nice firm base like this. And so I just hold it and just gently poke the very center. With the point of the needle, you can kind of pull some of the fibers and like place them where you want them. So you can just gently pull the fiber and move it towards the center. As you're felting though, it's important that you don't bend the needle at all because they break really easily. So it's just a gentle little tugging and shifting.
I have a really long stem.
Okay, so if your stem is looking really long, then you can hold the end of it, one end, and you can just move the needle in and out of the end, and that will start to grab the fibers and pull them towards each other and shorten the stem. Can you feel the stem shortening and grabbing? So only one end though should be felted. The other end we're gonna leave loose, nice and loose. And so that there's still a lot of roving there on the end. I read that a lot of our Christmas or holiday decorations stem from reindeer herders in the North Pole. And something that they would do is go around and collect amanitas from beneath the evergreen trees where they grow. And they would hang them on the trees to dry and bring them to people in the village. And they would surprise them by putting them in their stockings at night as they were drying their stockings over the fire.
Right, so now we're going to stop stirring. And I'm going to turn it over.
Use all the different things. I just brought this in. So there's Fraser fir out there. There's hemlock. Hemlock has a woolly delta. So if you don't have a woolly delta where you live, then don't use it. I'm sure we did. There's pine. There's juniper. There's a wonderful mix, and I recommend a variety. And there's other greens that go above that.
How is everybody feeling about their stem? You're feeling pretty good about it?
Mine's looking not quite all
So what you would just need to do is just poke the end right through the end. Just one end. Yeah. And just keep, pushing it all the way through there. Another thing you could even do is put it upside down and start to push the bottom. Put your stem upside down and gently poke the bottom.
Okay.
To shorten it.
Let's get you yours and show you the greens.
Mine is coming out pretty good.
It's looking great, Ava. It looks really good.
I guess I should felt with you more often, huh, Ava?
Is this going to become hiding in that red?
It is. So we need to make sure we leave the top loose so that we can attach the cap, the mushroom cap to it. So leaving some loose at the top so that we can felt those together for a firm attachment.
How compact do you want it to be?
However compact you want it to be. I make them pretty, this is pretty hard.
We'll take that long. But if it starts to take too long, it's going to be, that's what I was telling her. You don't want to just turn the heat up to high right away because then it'll burn. So you got to kind of go slow.
This is where patience comes into play, and then as soon as you start to feel it really shrinking, that's when it gets exciting and you don't want to stop. Roving is made by shearing the sheep and then washing it and using either a machine or like hand brushes almost, like paddle brushes, to card it so that all the fibers are running in the same direction, like this.
I think with this one it probably would be okay because we're not trying to get it to a hard strand. Okay. But in some of the ones that you want
do you want to leave the oil?
That's perfect. Just a little bit. The beauty. Oh, go ahead.
Should we add more of this?
If you feel like you need to add more, then definitely go ahead and add more. We're only going to be using just a little bit for the spots.
Oh, that's all we need the white left for?
Mm-hmm. All we need the white left for is the spots, so it'll just be a little bit.
And do the same thing. Cut it to a short side, and then you can make a bunch of them. You can do this one. Yeah. So you can hang it on your necklace.
That smells really good.
You can make like a person.
So your sense of smell can really get you.
Meredith, are there going to be samples?
Yeah, we're still over there doing the work.
We didn't finish one yet, and they're already.
Yes.
The beautiful thing about needle felting is that even if you feel like you're messing up, it can always be fixed. You can add more, you can take away, you can trim as you need to, and so it just feels like a very forgiving art.
How do you take away?
You can use scissors or you can just rip pieces off, so.
And if you want to add, you just like
Yeah, you
a
just.
little bit, and then you just.
So if I felt like my stem wasn't big enough, I could just fluff some more, and then just wrap it and felt.
So what would you do for this stem that's kind of lumpy?
Do you want me to help you?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see.
Troubleshoot.
I would just really get down in there really deep like this,
Okay.
and just. Is that what you are looking for? Is it for it to be shorter?
Yeah, it's just
And then
kinda
just lumpy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just going to take time. I mean, the tighter it gets, if you focus on the lumps, the tighter it gets, the more it'll
Be less lumpy.
be less lumpy. Another thing you could do is just take a little bit more
Twist
rub.
around it, maybe? Okay.
And even this at the top, like, when you wrap your red around, like if you wanted, like you could have that much to stem. Yeah, you could just squish it down. The merino top really does tend to be a bit more difficult of a finish. But this was all that they had left, so this is what we got. It's a lot softer though.
Well, we can't tell the difference. So.
Oh, the white.
I don't want to start heating up too early because I want to be burning again. So
And you can apply this technique to anything you want to make. Really simple things like this carrot. It's the same idea that you're just rolling and felting and shaping with the wool.
a couple more notches to go.
You buy this wreath thing?
Yep, you buy a wreath thing, or you can go out and get,
I can see why this is a
go
big
out
thing.
and collect.
Yeah, right? Okay, it's definitely addicting.
Great buy.
It's really fun to take raw materials and to create something so quickly and pretty, and just letting our imaginations run wild with it. It feels like the possibilities are endless.
That one is from Kitchen Company because I read
Do you recommend, how old do you recommend kids be before they try this?
The decorative one.
I think just when they start to show an interest, they're,
Hold them together.
as far as supervision is concerned, they're definitely going to poke themselves at some point, and that's how they learn. So, and it also depends on their focus. A lot of kids are going to want to like stab it like that, and that's kind of dangerous. And so if they can really be gentle with the needle, then they're ready. My girls were felting last year at age 3 and 4, but they broke a lot of my needles, and they would sometimes I would have cookie cutters. I'll take a cookie cutter and then fill the cookie cutter with wool, and so they just were poking inside that cookie cutter, so they kind of had an edge there. And I just taught them not to ever pull their needle out when they're like, just to kind of just keep poking and never pull the point out.
I mean, Ava last year at 6 was felting unsupervised.
Yeah.
At 6, so.
I just feel like Ra would just be like, needle.
Yeah. They definitely have to want to sit down and focus. Micah can do it, but he's 10, and he doesn't really have much of an interest in it. He would rather be using a knife and carving something. Carving wood or whatnot.
Oh gosh, I was making my wreath for Franklin. It's like, who? I was like, you know, a wreath for Franklin.
Is this the tea you got from me?
What?
Is this the tea you got?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Tiana.
60s, 70s, and puns.
Yes. She knows puns pretty well, because that's all I do.
I think we'll have time to do, since you're over here, we'll have time to do tea blends too.
All right.
I would love to see.
Yeah, we'll have time to do your stuff.
Watch out, this is hot.
We can just take this party to the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Anything from out or out?
I'm noticing that mine is kind of square. Is it just that I?
Oh, it's just a matter of just continuing to roll it. It's like a perpetual rolling.
Edges, probably.
But you know what you can do? So if you have these edges, so you can just, or you could put it down, or you could hold it up. Where the edge is there, so if it was, there was an edge right there, you just needle felt that. So just needle felt your edges back into the cylinder.
Question for you, Michelle. So I think I might have rolled it the wrong way. I wonder if I rolled it this way instead of this way.
Oh, maybe.
That's why mine is lumpy. So I would want to put a top coat rolled this way.
Yeah, top coat would be really nice.
Okay.
Are you making me a wreath? I'm just kidding. Hey, it's good to see you. You feel really soft and nice. Thanks for coming.
I want to see where you're too.
Yeah.
All right, good. Yeah, you're on it.
That's awesome.
Go ahead. Oh, see, there you go. Yeah, if you'd like to finish it off, and you can do this at any time. So even with this, that finished mushroom, this one was one I was working on and I didn't finish, but I could add more layers, even at the very end.
Whole thing roving, or is there something on that?
No, it's all just roving. Inside everything, it's just roving. Except for these. Inside these are catnip. They're little cat toys because the cats really love to bat them around, and so there's cat. And I just give it a little squeeze and throw it out there for them, and they're like little sushi balls. The cats. They really love this. And if it's up on a counter, then they'll or up on my mantle, or they'll knock things down trying to get to it. Dogs really love wool toys too, and they will, they'll just tear them to shreds. And so if you have the cats, after a while, these definitely get, pretty scratched up, but dogs tend to do a really efficient job at destroying some fiber art. So just keep them out of the dog's way.
So
And the beautiful thing about it too, especially with kids, is that when they're done playing with a toy, when they've outgrown it, you know, or they just decide they don't want it anymore, if you don't pass it on, you can, you know, throw it in your compost. And that's what's so beautiful about it, is that it's all natural materials.
I think as long as it's getting bigger, see?
So when you felt, you don't necessarily jam your needle all the way through it, you just sort of lightly.
I try to hit to the center, and if I'm rolling it, then I'm hitting to the center on all sides. But I don't always poke through to this mat.
Okay.
You can also use like a really plush dish sponge to felt on. I buy remnants at Foam and Fabric, and then just cut them.
Yeah, what was the store? Great Smoky Mountain something?
Friends and Fiberworks. They have Smoky Mountain fiber wool there from a farm in Candler, and that's on Smoky Park Highway. Friends and Fiberworks is on Smoky Park Highway.
There's a apartments property for sale on South River Road on the left. It's got these trees. I can stop it and grab some. Don't stay over now. First, I have permission.
Is that right when you turn on South River Road on the left? Yeah, that's
So Earthgilt is out of white, or they still have this kind?
No, I think I got everything, but they have off-white and they have packs. Oh, they do. They have packs, pre-packed, with different colors and a white bundle in there. So like a good amount of white is in there. So they have those, and I think they'll get some more in soon.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Earthgilt really has a beautiful array of bulk colors. This type of roving is just a few about $10 an ounce maybe, and this is I think this was actually closer to $30 an ounce. But we're only using what you have in your kit is 0.2 ounces, so that's just a tiny amount. So it's really inexpensive materials.
How much is the white?
This particular, I think it was like 30 an ounce, but you use so little of it. You know, like an ounce. Oh, that's a lot of wool. You know, so it's surprising how far it goes. Look at your pretty roving, all fluffed up.
Gift package for somebody who is just starting. What do you think you would include?
So I would include a foam pad,
Okay.
maybe 2 felting needles, just in case they break one when they're just starting to learn. And then if they want to work with armature, I would include a couple of pipe cleaners. I use cotton stemmed armature, but you could also use pipe cleaners. So you could put a couple of those in there, and then a palette of roving. So I would put a big ball of white, and then just some smaller balls of color. So that way, you know, you can use, like, inside of all of these is just white.
You're so good at making these kits. That's got to be your next thing.
Yeah, well, the instructions part. I need to, like, take pictures and write instructions. But there are books out there and plenty of websites to go to and, like, YouTube videos.
Yeah, that's
So are y'all ready to move on to your cap? You can always come back to the stem. Okay, so let's start with 2/3 of our red. So we're going to take most of the red and fluff it out. So we're fluffing it out to expose all these little fibers so that they can grab onto each other with more ease.
Oh, sorry, is that the 2/3 or the whole thing?
Oh no, the 2/3. Here, I'm just.
So
I weighed all of yours, but I didn't weigh mine out. I just used the remnants. If you run out of red, I have more red too.
So I should like rip off a little.
Yeah, I would rip off just a little piece just so you can use it to kind of finish like you did with your stem to kind of give it a nice finish.
So
Hold a little
what's the
piece
easiest
off.
way to pull it off?
Lengthwise.
Is it easiest to cut that 2/3 off or pull it?
Wow, you did such a good job of. I was like, is this merino too? That's so funny. Yours looks so pretty. I would.
No cutting? Oh.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. Here. So the reason that I don't cut wool is because it creates this blunt edge. And then it's hard to get that blunt edge to really go in. And so you can just, when I'm doing my roving, so you can just do that to kind of create a little fringe there. It just blends better when pulling roving apart. If you try and pull it apart right here, it's like it's kind of hard depending on how much you have and how thick it is, if it's like a thick bundle. But if you pull it, if you place your hands further away and pull it, it pulls off really nice. And it creates a good, nice, natural edge for blending and adding more. Okay, so if you have your ribbon ready, your ribbon of red roving, yeah, that's perfect. It's good. Yeah, just one big piece is good. As long as it's a little bit fluffy, and then we're going to, with the fluffy end of our stem, just wrap it in a general shape. You really have to have faith when you're felting that it's going to turn out the way you want it. So you want to have a little bit of the stem, wrap a little bit of the stem around it. And you can start with something just as simple as this. Just kind of wrap it around there in a general ball shape. Yeah, like a general cap shape. But there's no exact science to this, so you just have to trust your skills, trust your inner artist intuition. Yeah, that looks great. So once you have a nice ball, you can just start felting the same in a circle. This time though, instead of continuing with the cylinder, we're going to want to maintain a round shape. And so I'm going to felt all the way around in a circle, and then I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to felt all the way around the edge, underneath the cap, under this part. And then I'll turn it all the way on, standing up, and felt down the middle too. What's important about this process is that you're maintaining a round shape, but also felting the red into the white to form a strong attachment.
This kind of thing is subversive.
You okay? Are you okay? Oh no.
You're really sentimental about Christmas things,
I really can't think what to do my sister or read the best pitch by far. If I think of something, I give it, but I might give it something to give it.
Hey, you're rocking that cap. Yeah. You got it now.
If I find something that fits the person perfect, I get it. And if I don't find something that fits the person perfectly, and generally.
I do know from experience with mushrooms that some of them do have long stems and caps that go like this.
Yeah.
So I guess we can make mushrooms into personality too, right?
Yeah. And you could even add gills too if you wanted.
All right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I was telling Diego that I've done 2 morels, and I've sold them both really quickly, but
Bet that was hard.
Yeah, it was really, I mean, it was more of a challenge to myself to do a mushroom that actually like a morel with all the wrinkles and folds and the different tones, but it took, like these, once you get used to it, you can, you know, do one of these in 30 minutes, but the morel took hours.
So do you sell on Etsy?
I do, and handmade at Amazon. Amazon has a handmade platform. It just launched like last month, and then I have my own website too.
People seem to be getting a little bit away from Etsy, it sounds like.
Yeah. There's definitely have had some significant change, but I think they're trying to move back into a more integrity with the handmade community at this point, since they've gotten so much bad press about it. So. So do you feel like you're getting that, you're attaching that white to the red? Do y'all feel like you're getting a pretty sturdy attachment there? Okay. For big fluffy things like this, one of my favorite tools that I use that makes it go really fast are these multi-tools. And you can fit 10 needles in here. Well, I mean, you'll see. You get the hang of it and you can whip it out pretty fast. But see, they just fit down in here. These are special. This is like needle felting technology that we're using here, because these needles, they're fairly new to the market. They're actually twisted at the tip. Felting needles come in all different sizes and shapes, triangle and star and different gauges. The little barbs, yeah. So this one's twisted, and it actually helps the felting go faster, because it twists the fibers together as it grabs them with the barbs.
Do they sell these at any of the shops you mentioned?
So after they didn't sell them at Earth Guild, and they didn't believe me, that I was like, no, this really exists. And then after I taught classes last year, all my students went in there and they were like, where are the twisted needles? And so now they carry them. So I got all of these twisted needles from, and they're very inexpensive. They're $1.75 a piece. That's what's so great, is if you have a little bit of time on your hands, if you want to listen to a book on tape or a podcast, you know, this is really inexpensive materials, and it makes a nice handmade fun gift. You can buy special cylinder foam that to make hats too. So you can needle felt hats and slippers, or you could take old sweaters that are felted, wool felted sweaters, and needle felt right into the sweater.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's ready. Is it ready? All right, let's go. I'm gonna need this space right here. Let's go ahead and get started though. We got a lot of dipping to do. Yes.
Can you mix like wet felted and needle felted items, or?
Oh no, definitely you can. I have some. Oh, I put them away. Some balls, but so you could, in essence, you could take the white and wet felt a ball, and then needle felt a design onto it. Mm-hmm. Or you could take like this ball, because felted items tend to get kind of fuzzy, and you could wet felt after you did the design. You could wet felt it, and that would make it shrink up even more. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit too much.
This would probably be, all of these would be good candidates for wet felting to finish.
How would you do that? And the only thing I've done is like in a stocking and.
Okay, so I just take a basin of hot water with dish soap, like, you know, the liquid dish soap in it, just a couple drops, and then a cool, like a cold basin of water. And I start in the hot, and I put the wool in, and then you would just like form the ball, or you could use bubble wrap because that has some, and you can lay it out and just rub it. So it's all about that friction that's gonna like entwine those fibers. And then after a few times of dunking it in that hot soapy water, you would put it in the cold water, and it kind of locks it in place. And so it's just this hot, cold, and friction, and that's what makes it work.
How quickly did you start using armatures and stuff like that after you started needle felting?
Almost right away, I would say.
Oh, really? Okay. And you use wire?
I'm trying to think of. Oh, actually, I used armature before my first felting project was a cow.
Okay.
And that I used armature for the cow, for like the legs and the body. So that was when I first started. A lot of the using armature is just taking strands and wrapping it tightly, like to make the arms, you know, or like the legs of animals.
Did you teach yourself, or did you learn from somebody?
My friend actually, I tried wet felting and only was able to get so far with it because I'm not a knitter or a crocheter, and I realized that to make practical things, you know, other than like dryer balls, you know, that I would need to knit something really large and then wet felt it, you know, to shrink it up like a. And so I wanted to learn how to do these sculptures, and I ordered needles and I ordered some wool off the internet. I didn't know where to buy it, and I asked a friend of mine if she knew, and she showed me.
Oh, okay.
And it's just a small little project like this to get you started, and if you just keep working with it, then it will teach you. And so if you feel like you're at a good place with your cap and it seems kind of lumpy or something, you could, you know, wrap some more roving around it and to smooth it out. And it's really just about patience and like continuing to felt it, and those fibers get tighter and tighter.
It's got like a lot of dents.
Making a mushroom.
Are there techniques to get rid of some of these little denty things? You know, that's
A dent. So you can put your felting needle in and just gently, without breaking the needle,
pull it back out.
Pull it back out. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna, and you'll see too as we start to put the dots on there. It's going to be important to make to have a decent, finished cap before we put the dots on there, because that can really cause more dents. Dents in it, indentations.
Mine's like very fuzzy. Is that normal, or should I just keep felting it a little bit?
Oh, it looks great. I mean, you can keep felting it. Sometimes at the end, like with this, I like to go in and trim the fuzz off. These are better scissors. Or if my felting gets fuzzy from play, then I'll just go in and trim it up. And it kind of smooths it out a little bit. That looks great. And just to know that if you want to add more red, you can do that, and it's not gonna mess up your sculpture at this point.
Do you have any plans for classes like for January?
No. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do any classes this year.
Yeah, I guess you'll be working on it, right?
Yeah. I feel kind of sad about it. But maybe in the spring. Huh? This week? Oh, without the girls. Yeah, I still have to do my. No, maybe I should do some more classes. It's a good winter activity too, because it's something that you really, having the wool in winter, and I think that these make if we didn't put a string on it, I think it would make for really sensory, delicious play for little ones. Sensory, delicious play. Just like for babies they learn so much about. It just really stimulates all of that.
Other people are like really motivated people, but they want to be good at lots of things, and they want to have their own businesses. And it's a good time to develop that skill,
Scissors.
So when you feel ready, let me know, and we'll start doing the dots. I can start showing you how to do the dots. I noticed that they are selling. Last year, I noticed that they had these for sale at Earth Fair. They had felted amanitas ornaments for sale at Earth Fair, which is so interesting. It's really catching on, but the ones that they had were wet felted separately. Like they wet felted a stem and then like wet felted like a flat cap, and then they sewed the cap to the stem.
I like that there's no sewing involved.
Me too. That's yeah. If you really felt those fibers together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?
I'm a sewer.
Well, will you teach me how to hem my? Because you would laugh if you saw the hem on this that I did.
Yeah, let me know if you would decide to do a class or something, because I would bring her down for that. Yeah, we homeschool, but we're always looking for. And in the winter is when we're more crafty than in the summer. All we do is look for mushrooms. They're
still at Henderson Co-op for homeschoolers, Henderson County.
We're closer actually, even though we live in Henderson County, like barely over the line, we're still a lot closer to Asheville than
Oh, really?
Hendersonville. Yeah,
So you go
we,
up there.
yeah, we do to Asheville.
Did you homeschool your kids? Really? That's great.
Yeah, I missed it when they left.
Yeah, right? So much fun.
Yeah, it was really, yeah. It's a special thing you could do for your kids.
I'm really impressed at how badly mine started out and how much I'm liking it now.
Isn't it amazing that it can start out and it can just look like a mess, and if you just have faith in the process, then it...
Yeah, mine looked awful.
Yeah. Hey, Amelia.
How many children do you have?
These two.
I'm sure they're great.
Oh, yes.
Well, I don't know where to go. I mean, maybe a couple more little holiday things.
And then what's out there is there's some lighting. There's this, I mean, a couple of
This was such a great idea, and I see it's on the 2016 schedule.
Yeah,
Is it on the next year's schedule already? Or?
Oh, I haven't really looked
I
at
want
that
to say that
schedule
it is.
There is a
The other thing now is you can
share
take a walk over.
next.
for next year.
Next, yeah. Yeah, I think this is an awesome one to do.
A fun little felting craft with kids to start out with is to wet felt little small balls and then glue them into acorn caps.
Oh, that'd be cute.
And, or string them, or, you know, so that's something that... Oh, like that? That's getting shipped out. I sold 5 of those just today, like before 9 a.m. And yeah, and Amazon.
That's awesome.
'Tis the season.
Yeah. Well, you know, we were on a tree walk with Luke Cannon recently, and he was saying that we have to be like the most unskilled. I mean, the majority of us have to be like the most unskilled human, like, generation ever. I mean, we're really skilled at phones, but,
Right.
but anything else, we just buy it. Go buy it. You know?
Right.
So,
It's because you waste so much of your energy working for someone else that you don't have the energy to like do what makes you come alive.
yeah, exactly. Speaking of phones, so everybody.
It's so funny to see you with a phone.
I know. I didn't have a cell phone for years, actually.
I think like some of my, I know, another one of my,
They're just like weird signs because my phone can't read them.
yeah. Another one of my favorite people has an old school flip phone, and I'm always like super impressed when the flip phone gets pulled out. But my phone makes me money, so there's that.
Michelle, what do you think? Is that ready for?
I think it looks great. Are y'all ready to put some scales on your Amanita muscaria?
Yeah.
Scales are the actual scales.
And like fish scales?
Well, that's the technical term for mushroom parts is the scales. Another, never. I'm being on camera.
Actually, the amanita comes out from sort of like an egg, and what's left on top are pieces of that egg sac. And so in a way, they are kind of. I mean, you can just like pick them off. They're not like part of the cap. They're just remnants. Yeah. So.
Is that where the name comes from?
Maybe.
Well, this is the place from like the egg from which it hatches. Basically, is called the vulva.
I didn't know that.
Is it refined so that you don't taste the coconut, or see what temperature is that, Amelia? Don't taste it? You're not, Amelia, I'm sorry.
So of course I do fresh pumpkin.
We're good.
And then I do everything is 2. So sugar, fresh pumpkin, 2 added.
And Anastasia taught me that you can always spot an amanita if you look at the stem and see that little bulging at the bottom. That's how you know.
Not to eat it, but it's deadly poisonous.
Unless it's pink, but still.
Yeah, there
But
are
still,
a couple
there.
ones
Wait,
that are edible.
is the blusher the only one here? There's more.
Yeah, there are a few more. I don't know if they're around here, the other edible amanitas, but
Is it the string angel and amanita?
yes.
Mm-hmm. It's a white amanita. Yeah.
And this kind, the red kind doesn't occur here, but we found the sort of yellowy orange kinds.
Oh yeah.
That are, you know, the North Carolina version of this.
North Carolina Muscaria. Okay, so for the spots, you just want to take just a few tiny strands, maybe 20 strands that are about 3 to 4 inches long, and just roll them in between your fingers into a ball. And you can go smaller or larger once you see, you know, depending on how big you want. You could do big spots and grab more wool, or you could do little spots like these, little scales. And so you're just going to plop it anywhere on the top. And this is a tricky part. So when you're first felting it, sometimes it's going to want to come off, like stay on the needle. And so I like to at first poke it in and then just give it a couple little punches without pulling the needle out of the ball. Just give it a couple little punches. Did everyone see that? So just a few little strands and then roll it up. Okay, so I'm just gonna put my needle in there and then I'm just gonna pull it in it without exposing the tip of the needle. Just pull it in and out a couple times. And then at this point, you can shape by just grabbing the fibers with your needle. You can just round that off and shape it that way. Shape a perfect circle. If you want a perfect circle, it can be however you want. Let me know if you have questions and I can come around.
What's in there is doesn't bother me, but some other people may want to just see all the.
What's the name of this thing?
There's so many cool outfits.
I have a big one in my driveway. He says the biggest thing you ever saw. Okay, well, if you remember. I
You might remember.
Okay.
It's not,
I thought it was Mahonia, but it's not Mahonia, right?
I don't think so.
It's something else. Anyway,
Okay.
if it comes to you.
I don't see yours, I was looking at it.
You guys are just poking away over there.
Perpetual poking.
It's super hard, you won't be able to.
We're reminding the fibers that they belong together. It's just a nicer way to put it instead of stabbing.
Every once in a while you have to remind your hand that it doesn't belong on a pin.
It's really, I mean, a part of it feels very alchemical because we're taking something sharp and steel and mixing it with something really soft and fluffy and creating something completely new. So there's definitely a magical element to it.
See, it's going to be a while before I can make one of these in half an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, that's good.
Strawberry, sure. Okay, cool.
Literally, I have not been able to stop it.
Ava, you can come over and we'll felt together anytime. I'll teach you how to felt. I'll teach you how to do. I'll teach you some new techniques and animals and stuff.
I like it and stuff.
You do like it, Anna? Have you ever felted before? Yeah.
It's fun.
Did you use a needle? Did you do the needle felting? Yeah. What did you just do now? What did you guys do at the kids' table?
Kids table? I wasn't doing anything at the kids table.
Oh, did you make candy?
Yeah, I'm making candy.
Are you gonna share some?
Yeah, I think I can.
No, it's okay. It smells good though. What kind of candy did you make?
Patty
I'm gonna forget what that is called.
Yum. You want to make some candy?
Yeah, she's definitely interested.
So what I've done is I just have some recipes. I'll give you one. But basically, making candy is all about cooking sugar. And the different temperatures that it gets to dictates the kind of candy it is. So the hotter it gets, the harder it'll be. And if you take it to varying degrees under that, you can get different stages, like softball if you make nougat. And we'll do a fondant if you want. We'll make peppermint patties. And I have some ugly ones you can taste if you want.
Whoa,
Your mama had one earlier and she loved it.
Try one of those. Thank you.
They're ugly because I burned the chocolate, but I didn't put the burnt chocolate on them. Of course.
Peppermint patties, huh?
You want a peppermint patty?
Want this one? Here, I get one of those. Thank you.
So that's an example of a fondant, which is a lower temp process so that it doesn't get so hard. And you knead it with spatulas until you make like a dough, basically, which is the peppermint part. Form it into disc and dip it in chocolate. It's as easy as that. Then we'll make a hard candy, which is very simple, and that's like the highest temp one that we'll do. So it gets really hard, like crystals. You score it and you just break it apart. And I have some of those for you to taste too.
And what makes caramel caramel?
What makes caramel caramel is caramelizing sugar, and that's a longer process. I have some, it's coconut milk caramel. And before we go, hopefully it'll be set enough to where we can cut it and send it home with everybody.
And it's like soft and chewy like caramel is?
We'll do a test. One will stay in the fridge and one will come out.
I'm gonna be recording.
Oh, you're teaching.
Oh, you're gonna record for me. I may have to get that.
Did you guys want to do the easier one first? How about? Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, let's make the peppermint patty.
I was gonna, Amelia was more interested in candy and I was more interested in the wreaths. So
Go for it.
I think I might
Go, mosey.
That peppermint patty was awesome.
Oh, right on.
I think
Hopefully the ones we make will be prettier.
Oh, okay.
So, what we'll do is basically mix a bunch of ingredients together. You're a good reader, right? Okay, tell me what I need. Here's the recipe. And we'll dump them.
Can I help you with that?
We need, wait, right here. We need sugar. And I think what I put in already was 1.5 cups, so I need 1 more cup.
Hey, Mama! Are you gonna make a wreath?
This is actually fastest and easiest. You
Mom,
can't use
make a wreath.
Any of them can be recycled, but these get molded, recycled, these get molded. So you might want to get another one there. They take more.
You want a
You can
wreath?
handle it, I'm sure.
Make a wreath.
Okay, what's next, Amelia?
If you want to make the time,
Heavy cream.
an hour and a half would be, but you can get pretty far along and you'll have the pattern.
Okay.
But the fun is to go out and collect stuff yourself anyways to put on.
Yeah,
So if you're
we need to get a
collecting
measuring
this,
cup
just make
first.
a straw.
Yeah, well, you can make these. I actually make, I'd say buy these.
So the first thing is just dumping in all the ingredients.
Making peppermint
Yes, we can dump it in.
I have a big grate if I want to work on it.
What is it? Half a cup?
It's $5, it's $25 for it, but it's already made, but then you can see how to do it yourself easily.
All right, you gotta dump it in this pot right here.
Make sure you're not buying everything.
Yeah, right.
Otherwise, you
Whoa,
buy
that is a lot of sugar. I know, wow.
Well, candy has a lot of sugar in it.
most everything can be good.
But it's okay,
I
right?
never
It's the
thought those
holidays.
peppermint patties had that much sugar.
What's next?
Sounds good.
Go
Milk?
ahead and unwrap this guy, and I will.
Can I put it in?
Yes, you may.
Fluff it out and kind of expose all these little fibers. It's going to make your gelatin go faster. And so we just want to
All right.
It's like almost all sugar.
And then we need some butter, which I just happen to have right here.
Read the recipe and I can put this.
How many tablespoons of butter, Amelia?
Yours is not going to be on a glass door, right?
2 tablespoons? Is it a capital T or a little
You're
t?
looking at the back side of the table.
Tablespoon.
No, it is a glass door,
All
but
right.
it's patterned with
What's
glass.
next?
You won't really see.
Then you probably want to use the green
Cream of tartar.
forest fabric on your wire.
Do you guys know what cream of tartar is?
No.
Me neither, but it makes
Kind
things
of watch me
thicker.
while you're doing that. You kind of just
Let's
jam
see.
the forest
Where is it?
fabric over.
Okay.
Then you kind of just
Right.
stretch this
Right
down.
here.
and then you
Excellent.
twist it
How
in.
much of this do we need,
I've
Amelia?
done it before here, so-
Twisting it. Okay.
Yeah, you just kind
What
of,
do
you
you-
wrap this
how
around,
much
that's
do
a
you
good way to
have?
not use too much
1/4.
tape to get it done
A
fast.
1/4 teaspoon?
Spin it around.
Okay. And now we're just going to
Cream of tartar is pretty exotic. No one knows where it comes from. It's probably from like spider's webs or something. Oh, we'll do that later. Okay, so what we're gonna do with this now that we have it all mixed together, very simply, is we're gonna heat it up. Because like we said, making candy is all about cooking sugar to different temperatures.
I didn't think those peppermint patties would have that much sugar.
Do you guys want a stool?
Okay, I want to show.
You can share.
Okay,
This
well.
doesn't take very long to get on. It's kind of thin rather than bulky. You can see it start off kind of rough. Once I get it going, it goes pretty good.
We have a candy thermometer. You want to come over here so you can see? So we're going to take this to the soft ball stage.
So once you have this made,
My candy thermometer actually has some pins on the outside. Where'd you get that? I got this at Kitchen and Company in Asheville.
okay, so I'll do it like that. Goes around.
So if you just keep rolling and
Oops, right here.
So you got purple, okay? And then do you want to make a snowman?
And then this end can be made into.
What is that, like medium heat? Oh yeah, okay. It'll say,
Oh, bring it to
and
boil.
generally when you're cooking things to the soft, firm, or hard crack stage, you don't even have to stir it.
Oh, really?
So you just kind of let it sit there. You let everything. I'm gonna stir it a little bit right now while the butter's melting, but even with the milk and the cream, just make sure you don't get burned. Okay.
Actually,
the sugar. No.
That'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's not on high heat, it'll be fine.
Is this the peppermint part?
No, the peppermint part comes later. The really fun part actually is after we cook it to the right temperature, we put it on that tray and we use those two spatulas and we just smack it around until it gets thicker. Right now I'm just melting the butter.
Split up the treats to make custard.
Yes.
Then you want it green because it won't show as much. So green tape.
Okay, there's that.
Okay, then just figure out where it's going to go. There are several kinds of bases. Given that we're not going to get it done anyways, we have.
Well, I'm sure that he'll like a peppermint buddy.
You can stay longer if you want, though.
I bet he always says something.
I would recommend straw as fast. Wire is nice and it doesn't mold.
You want to stir that?
For years.
I'm just trying to get the butter to melt.
So only one end.
You can also make
And when the butter melts, we'll turn it up high and we'll let it boil.
I usually, she knows I make it. I know.
And so there's
Yeah, well, have one great
We should make the right amount so each of us will get the same amount.
Oh, it'll be fine. We'll split it up. You know what? This makes almost
a lot of our crisps, I
25.
know that a lot of our
It's a lot.
crisps, they're
What are they, like 1 inch? How do you do it? They're like a half inch. Okay. Did you eat one? No. Did you have some? I have some really ugly ones that I made yesterday. Because I got the chocolate over hot and it just got all chalky, so I couldn't dip them very well.
Can I get like just a piece or?
Of course.
Can I get a shot at a patty? Like a good
No,
shot?
don't. Wait till they get the ones that we made.
Okay.
Those are ugly.
Well, like, I want to just know the difference. Sometimes ugly things are the most tasty.
Oh, good. Got to get that one little lump out.
And that's probably not, I actually need that a little thicker, I'm just showing you. Take the pan.
All right, so now we're going to stop stirring, and I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. Ready? You can just put that right on the counter. You can just get the counter super sloppy.
There's fur out there, there's hemlock, hemlock has the woolly Belgian.
Not yet.
If you have the woolly Belgian where you live, then don't use it.
I'm sure we do.
There's pine, there's juniper, there's a wonderful mix, and I recommend a variety.
Okay.
And then there's other greens that'll go above that for decoration, things like dog harbor or the coconut. It's not, it's barely starting from purple, a little bit is purple. Lilac, there's a little bit out there.
Yeah, sure. When I was making caramel earlier, it was like bubbling a lot, and so I was hesitant to use the smaller pot for that. No, that's rocks. But you can eat them too if you want.
You won't have too many seashells.
So go get some of that from out there.
Yeah, we go. And so you're going to have to wire yours on. They're not going to pin it. It's going to take a little longer. That's why the straw is faster. But you can always finish it.
Doing it on a gas
Let's get you
burner
guys
makes
to
me
show you the
nervous.
greens.
What do you usually do?
A lecture. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in. Sometimes the only tough thing is seeing it because it fogs up. So you've got to kind of get your finger down in there where it's hot and scrub it off. So we wanted to get to about 240. So you guys see the 250 mark? And all the little marks are 5 points. So it has to be 2 marks under the 250 mark, okay? So you gotta watch it.
She once was my teacher at a program, and her boy became friends.
And in general, like if you're trying to increase temperature, and it's not moving, like you're just sitting there, especially when you're making caramel or something you have to stir, then you just incrementally increase the heat until you watch it correspond. It won't take that long, but if it starts to take too long, we'll turn up the heat. That's what I was just telling her. You don't want to just turn the heat up to high right away because then it'll burn. So you kind of go slow.
This is where patience comes into play, and then as soon as
See, it's already at 200, huh? You don't see the little blue line? You kind of have to move your head so you can see.
I can see it. It's on.
Is it at 200 yet?
Ponytail, if you don't mind.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Does it have to boil?
It boiled a little around the edges first.
It's on.
It's on 200? Excellent. Keep watching it. You don't want to get too hot or else you have it on your hands when you do
brushes almost, like paddle brushes, to part it so that all the fibers are running in the same direction.
With this one, it probably would be okay because we're not trying to get it to a hard crack state.
Okay.
But in some of the ones that you want to be hard, then the boil is pretty important.
Okay.
And if you want something to caramelize.
Yeah.
If you feel like you need to add more, then definitely go ahead and add more.
Oh, we're getting there, guys. Where are they? I don't even know where they are.
Just a little bit. That's fine.
No one bit it. It just got broken.
Yeah, I moved on.
And do the same thing. Cut it to a short side and then
Oh, it's getting something. Yeah, it just looks like the inside of the banana. It looks like a banana. Yeah.
Isn't it cool how it's moving? Look at it.
The last day I had
It's like
that
lava.
program with her, we roasted bananas with chocolate chips in the middle of the
Yummy.
fire.
Oh, look at it getting all foamy.
Wow, it's moving now.
So your sense of smell comes in really handy when you're doing candy. Because
It is almost over 200.
yeah, look at y'all over there doing no work and expecting a treat. Yeah, there will definitely be.
Haven't even finished one yet, and they're already.
I was so tempted to stir it.
You know what I mean? Needle felting is that even if you feel like you're messing up, it can always be fixed. You can add more.
It's over
You
200.
can take away.
Great.
You can trim as you need to, and so it just feels like a very forgiving art. You can use scissors, or you can just rip pieces off, so.
It also kind of looks like mashed banana.
So if I felt like my stem wasn't big enough, I could just pull up some more, and then just wrap it.
Gripping, huh?
And stuff.
So what would you do for this?
We're getting there.
Kind of lumpy?
Do you want me to help you? Yeah. Okay. So,
Have you done that before?
Troubleshoot.
I've made a little person.
really get down. I never really can. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what you are looking for? Is it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna make a wreath for Franklin.
Yeah, I think that's just gonna take time. I mean, the tighter it gets,
A wreath
if you
for
focus
Franklin.
on the lumps, the tighter it gets, the more it'll.
All right, don't let it get past 240.
What?
2 notches under 250.
I don't really know how to tell this.
I'm gonna give it to Papa Amelia because he loves wreaths.
Can you fill me in on what's happening? I'm going between my.
Just cooking some sugar right now. Just cooking up some sugar and some cream.
Oh, then you're just watching the temperature?
Watching the temp, yep.
We're making-
And then we'll put it on that pan and we'll work it with the spatulas until it makes
We're making peppermint
like
heads.
almost like a dough, like a fondant. And then once it cools slightly, form it into patties and then dip it in chocolate. So what we could do at this point is grab those 2 bags of chocolate chips, and I don't want to start heating them too early because I don't want them to burn again. So
Do you want a double? Why don't you put a stainless steel bowl and water?
You could.
I mean, grab you one?
I can probably use this.
Where are we at? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what do you do?
We got a couple more notches to go.
You buy this too?
Yeah, you buy a reed thing, or you can go out and get,
Of course.
go out and collect.
Right? Okay, it was definitely.
I'll pour and have
Yeah, like, grapevine.
Great idea. If I could get it open, that would help, huh?
Probably, yeah, we have plenty of
really
them.
fun to take
Like grapevine, like, you know, with the grapevine. Bought a grapevine, but these are pretty cheap, they're $3 or something.
And just letting our imaginations run along.
Well, I'm making bundles of things,
It's like the possibilities.
and I'm layering.
Because I realized at the last minute I was out.
This, that, and that's a decorative one. And this, that,
I mean,
and just hold them together.
Excellent work.
as far as supervision is concerned, they're definitely going to.
You put both kinds in?
I'm going to. There'll be a little bit too much. Oh, yeah. It's easier to dip when you have more, you know?
Now it's time for a
Is
decorative.
that what?
The other ones I just taped onto the top because it's so dry, but I'm hoping we'll be able to just like roll it through there with a fork really gently and cover the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I got the sample. Where's it at?
My girls were felting last year at age 3 and 4.
You might need to turn it up just a hair.
Sometimes I would have cookie cutters.
I'm not very patient, so I turn the heat up and take risks.
And so they just were poking inside that cookie cutter, so they kind of had an edge there. And I just taught them not to ever pull their needle out.
You're gonna cut these
You guys are brave for taking a class from an impatient risk taker over there.
With hot sugar.
I still wish they were done right now, but I'm being patient.
Yeah, you're doing great. Oh my gosh, we're so close, you guys.
They definitely have to let them sit down.
Wow, that looks really pretty, Dad.
It does look really pretty.
Thank you.
I kind of want to make one now.
How are you attaching that?
These little pins,
Oh, little pins. Okay, okay.
staples almost, but they just show
Yeah.
them in there.
My mom.
Told Asha I was making my wreath for Franklin. She's like, who? I was like, you know, a wreath for Franklin.
Haha.
I don't get it.
There's a lady named Aretha Franklin.
Someday you'll learn about the 1960s, 70s,
And puns.
and puns.
Yes. She knows puns pretty well, because that's all I do.
I think we'll have time to do it. If you're over here, we'll have time to do it.
All right, it's time to whip this fondant into shape. So, watch out, this is hot. We're gonna come over here. Take the candy thermometer out. And I'm gonna pour the hot sugar out. Watch out. I'm gonna take these. I'm just gonna scrape it around because as it cools, it's gonna get thicker. And that's what's gonna make the peppermint part.
And I'm gonna add the peppermint.
Whenever it starts to get thicker, like we're gonna do this for a few minutes, and it'll start to get thicker, and then we will. It's peppermint oil. It's really, really strong. We just use. You see that little tiny spoon that I used for the cream of tartar? Right here. We will only use that much peppermint oil right there.
And it's really minty.
It's super minty. And this you can do in stages.
Mama, where did
when
you
I did
get
it
all
at
that?
home, I did it in
Like I did like a third of the syrup and I mixed it around.
and I poured a third more of the syrup and mix it around because it's a lot to do when you're like trying to get all of it, you know?
Now my mom's gonna make her own big
Trying to not get it to dry on top. I'm just like working it into a fondant, so it needs a little bit of like air incorporated into it.
Oh,
and it
okay.
needs, as it cools, is like basically a sugar dough.
Okay.
It's like, it's not really nougat, but it has that same consistency.
Okay.
The only thing I really wanted to do is wreath make and treat make.
I bet you'll have time to do it, both of them, or at least get started
I'm
on
gonna
it.
treat make until it's time to go.
Are you?
Yes.
Does anybody else want to stir?
That looks a little tricky.
It's a little tricky, but it's not hard. You can get some different spatulas. If it's up on a counter, then this makes it
Today
easier.
we got people to come clean our house, and then I got up
Here, keep
to
one of
show
those
them
and
I
use this one.
could get up onto the top of the fridge, and then I tried to get some of my Halloween candy and poured it on the floor, and then I got a few pieces, and then the rest of the day I was trying to get on top of the fridge for mom.
Yeah, until it starts to thicken and get
Okay, you can sort of tell.
My dad is a big.
That looks pretty thick already.
Start moving it the other way, Amelia, so it doesn't spill.
This way?
Yeah, maybe let your friend give it a try. She can push it the other way.
They're
You
gonna
want to
walk
stir
over
it?
here, yeah.
No?
As I was telling Catherine,
Yeah. Nice to meet you too.
my sister got so like.
When I did it, a lot of the candy makers use marble slabs. And so when I did it, one of the reasons I did it in batches when I made it the first time is because I turned the sheet pan over. So it would be more like a slab.
Yeah,
Then I
okay.
realized that it didn't really matter. It was just about having something that was heat resistant, that wasn't going to be too hot or too cold when you first poured it out on there. So I think as long as
Is
the,
it thick enough?
yeah, it's getting thicker, see?
I think we should add in the mix.
Ooh, that's hot. Don't touch the pan, you guys.
You don't necessarily jam your needle all the way through. You just sort of
I think we should put in the mix.
In just a minute, we'll put in the mint.
Is there a towel under the cookie sheet?
That's good. Oh yeah, we're just about there.
It does happen fast.
Is it like freezing or something?
It's not freezing, it's just cooling down. And because we cooked it with all those other ingredients, it's gonna stick together as it cools down.
That doesn't look like we'll make much.
Well, do you remember how little those peppermint patties were?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of holding together now. So I'm gonna add the oil.
Right here?
And it's really strong.
Wow. Can I smell it?
Don't stick your nose right in it because it'll make you crazy.
Is that right when you turn on South Coast?
Can you smell it from here?
Yeah, that's
Are you getting? Wow, that is strong. We put mint aroma in our bath fizzies to take the chemicals out of our bath, and we made
that's a good
like
idea.
giant cannibal ones, and they were pink. And when I put them in the bath, and Dad came in, he couldn't take all the mint smell. He just went right out. It was just the whole bathroom was filled with it.
One of the things about fondant is as you work with it and as it cools, you need to keep it covered. So now that it's cooling off, it's still a little hot for me to touch. If it gets dry and chalky, it's no big deal. You just get a couple drops of water on your fingers and work it into the fondant and you can keep going.
Oh, can I try that?
Yeah, but it's hot. Touch it, see what you think. Yeah, it's a little hot.
Yeah, it's still pretty hot.
So I'm just kneading it right now, just like bread.
Wow. Hey, it puts the mint taste on your fingers.
And the mint right now is burning my eyes. So you have to like,
I know it burnt
I mean,
my
not
eyes.
like burning, but my eyes are
It
like.
kind of burnt my eyes when I went to smell it.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do. It's awesome to have extra hands. This will be to cover with. We need to turn on that. That's gonna get
Just in case they break one when they're just starting to learn. And
you can pinch them off if you feel comfortable.
I would just make a bunch.
Hey! And then I can climb them out.
Be gentle. Because otherwise they'll just flake apart. You gotta have a light touch.
He still wanted the chocolate chip.
And then just some smaller balls.
Oh,
That way,
it's a little too hot for you.
you
Okay.
can use like inside a ball too.
I know. I know. This is just crazy hot. Okay.
Yeah, well, the instructions part.
What are we trying to do?
Watch. I'm rolling gently as it can fall apart. I'm rolling it into a ball and then I'm flattening it out. See that?
So I just skipped over 6. So are y'all ready to move on to your cat? You can always come
Are you
back.
trying to cover these? Is that what I am trying to cover it. I just don't want them to get too cold too fast. Okay. Isn't it kind of fun? It's like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Want to try again a minute? It's a little cooler. You want to make one?
Hey, they get the mint taste on your hands and they can.
I think the deer was in there just eating them. That's what I thought. Because we haven't had deer in there a lot at all. This year we did.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah, because we never usually get
So
deer.
we're going to get out since they're all
I bet it was a deer.
awesome. Grab onto each other over there. Which more. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, the 2/3. Here, I'm just
Right now in the double boiler over there, the chocolate is melting.
I weighed all of your time.
If
You run out of bread, I have bread.
I should like rip off. Once we have some time.
Are we gonna cook them now?
Well, what we'll do is dip them in chocolate and then we'll let them cool for a minute and then they'll be done. You don't have to like cook them any more than we already have. Really.
You can always salvage anything like that you have if you have the time, you know.
Yeah, I have a little time, so I'm gonna try to add water to this and see if I can get a couple more out of it.
Yeah, because it seems like it's a lot.
Yeah.
What do you teach?
That was another thing about like dumping it all out at once. It just makes more of a mess. Whereas
Yeah.
if you do it in stages, I think you do salvage a little bit more fondant in the end.
Is that drinkable water?
Yeah, it's well water.
But if you pull it, if you place your hands where your head is, it pulls off and it creates a good, nice, edge for natural edge for knitting and
I heard,
adds.
I don't know if it's true, but I heard.
Okay, so if you have your ribbon ready, your ribbon of red rovings,
Yeah, that's perfect.
Oh, just get big pieces?
Yeah, just one big piece is good. As long as it's a little bit fluffy, and then we're going to, with the fluffy end of our stem, just wrap it in a general shape. You really have to have faith when you're felting that it's going to turn out the way you want it. So
Somebody told me that and I was like, well, I want to believe
you want to have a little bit of the stem, wrap a little bit of the stem around it.
Are you familiar with Mushrooms Demystified by David Aurora? In there he talks about the Laplanders drinking the urine of the reindeer who ate the mascara.
Right.
So they don't get poisoned.
I remember that. Yeah, I have read that.
What people will do.
Your son is awesome.
We need to turn that up.
I'm really enjoying working with him.
There's a lot of
He told me you guys come
I know.
school.
Yeah.
2 bags.
Do you guys have any community where you just do it?
We do, yeah.
Well, it's gonna melt slower because it's on pot of water.
We belong to, Monday call, they call it.
Sure.
Yeah, but they have a lot of friends.
Gotta be steady though so it doesn't spill out.
My daughter goes to school here, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with her. If you don't mind, I'd love to get your information.
Mix it just so it doesn't stick.
What's that?
Just mix it just so it doesn't stick.
Well, the sticking's gonna happen anyway, but the mixing just kind of gets it all evenly in touch with the heat.
Can we take some rest?
Yeah, you can take a whole
Yes.
He doesn't not connected to nature at all. My dad is completely. been moved from it. It's like against his religion to put his bare feet on the ground.
Well, you know, this kind of thing is subversive.
Yeah, but I think you would really like this a lot. You know, more than most kids you would get. You're really sentimental about Christmas.
I really can't think what to do my sister.
How's it going, Amelia?
Do you guys do the forest floor?
Yeah, we do that on Mondays. Yeah. Oh, it's so fantastic. Do you know that? Do you know anything?
I need to talk to Clint because he was saying he's looking for the South Asheville location.
Yes.
So do you want to just put this together like this?
With
I
water?
think let's just try to get it to hold together like
If
dough.
I don't find something that fits
Yeah, and then you.
It might be hard because it's cooled a lot.
and I
What did you say?
It might be harder now because it's so cool.
Okay.
Gotten dry.
That's pretty good.
I'm mixing up stuff to make the hard
We're just trying to
next,
get it too dried out.
just to keep us moving because we're waiting right now.
something in the midst of my shopping.
The lemon ginger drops. Did you try one?
So you guys go to the Monday first?
Yeah, he's in the Monday. He's been on the Monday one for maybe a year and a half. But we're switching to the Friday program, which is in Liverpool, because his very favorite instructor is invited to that day, that location. So they're all so wonderful. Though. There's no
So into it and everybody
They're sweet.
Of course. I know.
I know. Yummy, huh?
This is close for you.
And
Oh, is it? Okay, because I
You know, just to buy something. And that's like,
Yeah, I do not like that mentality. You know, it's just.
I can't do it, you know. None of us want to do it. My sister and brother are not nearly as alternative as me, but they still didn't want to do that.
But it was just a preschool that my daughter aged out.
You gotta help make that?
We gotta make them now.
You gonna make them right now? Those are really good.
Right now we're making them.
what's this called? Is it, do you have a
It's
name?
called Escuela Naturally Grown.
Oh, I haven't heard of
We
that.
have a website called Naturally Grown Project.
Okay.
So if that were something you're interested in, you know, just reach out to us.
So do you feel like you're getting that, you're attaching that white to the red? Do y'all feel like you're getting a pretty sturdy attachment there? Okay.
My heart's always happy when I make reads.
And then most of the children come every day.
And so does it run as like a charter school or a private school, or how does it?
It's a private school.
It's a private
How's it going?
Hey, we said that at the same time. I think you probably said it and then I said it. It kind of like said it like you started saying it and then I said it.
Like somewhere in my brain when I was looking for something. We've only been here in
Felting needles come in all different sizes and shapes, triangle and star, and different gauges.
They have like little things.
The little barbs, yeah. So this one's twisted, and it actually helps the
Bathroom door. Use the bathroom door and use that door hanger.
We're making something that we just tasted.
Lemon ginger drops. Is that melted yet? Oh, we're so close.
Hey, remember the thing we just tasted? This is gonna be it.
My daughter is Amelia. Do you want to make the picture or do you want to try with Amelia?
That's just the basic. You have to take the time on your hands. If you want to listen to your birthday or what is that? This is
Amelia. This is Amelia.
It's all on the same sheet of paper. The one did I give you one already?
You gave us the one of the peppermint patties.
They're all together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They're all together. Can you pass me one? I'm going to
Oh, I tried one. I don't need to try anymore.
You can have another one.
I don't know piece.
Okay.
I I'm so grateful that I'm learning how to do this.
Is that melted yet, Amelia?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, and these
Yeah,
are
that's it. That's right. It's ready.
Is it ready? All right, let's go.
Look.
I'm gonna need this space right here.
It could go a tiny bit longer just because there's a few chocolates.
Let's go ahead and get started though, huh? Because we got a lot of dipping to do.
Yes. I'm not sure. Don't worry about it though.
I'm
always ready.
They're gonna be good. So they're not gonna look like the other ones?
They're gonna be beautiful. Look at that.
Wow.
Once the base is done, then it gets fun.
It's helpful to do this with a spoon and just be gentle. Let's get that spatula out of there. I think it's a little too
I'm
brutal.
just mixing it.
Okay, thanks.
Oh yeah, they dried a lot, didn't they? Wow.
What's that?
They dried so much. So
Yeah, a little bit too much.
Oh, is
but-
that too much? Oh,
Well,
okay.
if you're not super gentle with them as you dip, then they'll crack.
They'll crack.
So it's like
Oh, okay.
the harder they are, it's like the more nervous I am right now. But it's going fine because the chocolate is a really good
They
consistency.
look like chocolate covered Oreos.
Don't they look great?
They look good.
All right, darling.
They're really sweet, but they're almost too sweet.
But otherwise, they need to fill in that bottom. Yeah, definitely do compared to the other ones.
Well, I just, you don't want to,
Yeah, right.
And you can lay it out. It starts out pretty bitter. You know that, right?
And then after a few times of dumping in that hot you put it in the cold.
Oh yeah, 7:25. So we only have like another 35 minutes or so.
Hot, cold, and friction, and that's
Those are. Oh, thank you so much. Are you bringing them over? That's such a good idea. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Real homemade peppermint patties.
Can I use you for this?
Yeah, you can use this mushroom for anything. I don't really.
You want to try flipping them, Amelia?
Not really. I like just like mixing it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this back.
Will you hold it up?
Yeah. Sorry, I just need to put this back. I'm like,
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot by the heat, huh?
Our neighbor thought it was privet and trimmed it way back before we harvested.
Oh boy, that's terrible.
I hope it comes back next year. He just comes along the edge and takes a lot of stuff down.
Everybody, the world is full of people that are in desperate need of controlling growth. They don't mind subdivisions and all.
We were letting it grow up.
Right, yeah, sure.
Some more things for you guys?
So what can you teach me?
Well, I can teach you how to make these really, really tiny stitches that don't look like X's yet because they're only half of X's right now. They're backslashes or forward slashes. But soon when I go back, I'm going to cross them and they're going to be a bunch of little X's. So cross stitch is just made of a bunch of little X's. And right now, I'm making this pattern, but instead of using the colors that are listed here, this brown border that goes all the way around here, I'm doing in navy blue. So I just started to create this corner. I don't know if you can see it yet, but I just got to the point where I'm going to turn the corner. And when I go back, they'll all look like X's, and I'll have this border that I can start doing the flowers out of. And then I can decide if I want to do this message or write something else. As long as it fits into the same space, then it'll work. Yeah. So it's basically, I don't know what you would call it, but it's like building a picture out of little pixels.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, like when you're making Mario.
Exactly.
That
Exactly.
makes a fantastic gift, something handmade.
Yeah. And if you had someone who was a fan of Mario, you know, you could do like a whole like a pixelated project because cross stitch is perfect for that. And what this is going to look like when it's finished is this, but in different colors. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks. Okay, great. Then I'll have X's instead of slashes.
One little piece of that we want to kind of keep.
Yeah, that's like, it caught my imagination, somebody could use it, you know? That's just an example of, you know, the walk in the woods.
Yeah.
The final decorating, you know? That makes your wreath like unlike any wreath anybody's ever had before.
Things that you find along the way.
It's like you keep dropping it in the big clump of chocolate. Oh, we made a lot of extra chocolate.
Okay. Now let's leave those for a
Is this
minute.
ready? Is this ready?
Good job, you guys. They look beautiful. And then how long will it take to cool? Like just an hour or something? That long. Okay. It probably won't even take that long. But I hope for these children's sake it doesn't take that long. Yeah. All right, so I'm starting the other ones. If you guys wanna, what one are we doing now? The lemon ginger drops. Oh yay! So these are pretty easy. Okay. All I'm gonna do is I've mixed in a cup and a half.
We just covered these in chocolate.
You just drizzle it?
We just dipped them in and flipped them over and then rolled them out. So it's a cup and a half of sugar, 2 tablespoons of organic light corn syrup, and then a half cup of water. Stirred it together just so the sugar got wet, and now I'm gonna bring it to a boil.
This doesn't say water on here. I should add that.
It
Right?
does in the.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, well, I have a cup of water. Okay, okay, good. That's okay. That's okay. As long as it's in there, so I know.
So we're gonna let it boil, and then we're gonna cover it, and then we're just gonna leave it alone and let it boil for 3 minutes, which is a little nerve-wracking because you always think it's gonna burn, but it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Like, remember her?
It doesn't. Oh, that wasn't messed up.
When we're done,
So these are gonna be perfect?
once we boil it for 3 minutes, we're gonna throw it
I think we should dunk the lemon drops in chocolate.
hard cracked
That would be good.
and then when that's done, we'll stir in the lemon, stir in the ginger, and then
Pour it onto here. This is your prepared. This is how. This is greased. Okay.
Should we dip the lemon drops in chocolate? Fill some extra.
Is that just
well,
butter?
we could. Will that change the flavor?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's not
Let's
butter,
do
it's
it.
coconut oil.
Let's
So they
do it.
change it a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
When I did the
yeah,
ones
we
that
can-
you
so we can
tasted, I used
Yeah, because I don't think my cousin would like that.
virgin coconut oil. Yeah, so it's got a flavor to it. Please be careful when that is on. That is turned on. Okay.
Anything that I need to hear? That's the candy, right?
Yep, so it's just sugar, organic corn syrup,
Maybe you should use the
and
spoon.
letting it boil. As soon as it boils, I'm going to cover it. What are you trying to do?
We're going to try to cover it. It's already covered.
Just drop it in there? Just drop it in.
It's already in.
Oh, it's in.
What's that?
It's,
Oh, that's her candy.
can I eat?
Oh.
Lucky you.
You're going to have to fish for it. I
I'll do
can't
it.
see.
Here's my other
That's enough, right?
You guys are so There's one for each of us. Just
Okay, whose is this?
that's yours. That's yours.
Do you want it? It's kind of hot. Careful. Do you want me to put it in your mouth?
No, just let it cool. It's got a
Did you
cool.
find the book on
Let it
book?
cool. Blow on it.
Card. I just showed him the salt pictures. Is it too late for that? Right now, the salt
Oh, no.
cards. I showed him the cards again.
I don't want to be nice. I'm
now-
trying to look even think of taking you over there. Yeah. Go ahead. Let me get you some paintbrushes.
Oh. Okay, I got the other one. That's even better than the
I'll make sure she knows that you want to do snow.
He's got other people who are like really motivated people. They want to be good at lots of things. And they want to
So I'm going to move this out of your way.
time to develop that skill.
And what we
you know?
do,
I'm like, no, actually, can I pay you more? I mean, like, just, you're good and I like your stay.
Maybe you can dodge it
I think because it's caramel, caramel is more frustrating. I hate you have to stand there and stir it. It's just so it doesn't burn. It just keeps stirring.
Yeah, and with electric, I know you do electric too, but you can't always tell and you can't see it's confusing.
You're gonna have to learn how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can find plenty of people that won't stick around.
Lemon extract. Listen to that lemon extract.
Yeah, it was right there. Wait, behind the, it's over there. I see it behind the sugar. Yep.
Do you want me to do something with this, like help you clean up? Do you want me to put this in a bowl or something?
Maybe so, yeah. If you're not doing anything. Are you eating that one?
Oh my gosh, you're brave.
So I just set my timer on it really fast.
Okay.
I'm just like letting the phone timer.
Holly is the one we have to go very light.
It makes me nervous to cover it and let it boil a bit.
The bunch doesn't
You know,
look
if it burns, it burns.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that expensive, really.
It's really not.
When you look at it, that's a good one to make.
And you can do whatever, like add cinnamon essential oil or extract or
Yeah, what else have you made?
rum extract, like whatever you want. It's a basic hard candy recipe.
Yeah, okay.
And the sugar ratios are right, so you can add whatever flavorings you want. You could do like lavender, you could do rose, you could do all kinds of cool stuff.
I love the texture of them too. They're real nice texture.
What's up?
You never need to.
Hey, you want to give me an opinion? You do? You like it? Is there anything you'd change?
Yeah, it was
Really awesome.
No?
I'm really impressed at how badly mine started out and
Okay.
Can't wait until the patties are ready.
mine looks awesome.
Okay, so I want it to be at 300. And it'll get there pretty quickly from my experience after it's been boiling for a while.
Well, I don't know where to go. Maybe a couple more little Holly things.
I got it.
And then what's
Did
out
you?
there is there's this, I mean,
A couple of things.
you don't need to do anything else, it's gorgeous like
But yeah, I'll look and see what kind of things, but save some for everybody too.
I want to say that it is.
The other thing now is you can walk in the woods.
That's right. I might go do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Try and
there's
choke.
one
yeah, hold
here,
on.
but I have a bunch more. I'll say
Okay,
one
this
more.
is
I'm trying to think of how to package these without plastic.
I use wax paper.
You do?
Once I've cut them and then broken them apart, sifted over the confectioner sugar, you can just cut strips of wax paper and twist them in there. It looks really pretty.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay.
Or you could use, cellophane would be plastic.
I
Obviously.
know, yeah. I like to avoid it if I can. I can't. They sell the plastic candy bags and all.
Well, they keep okay, but they need to be more airtight. So that's
what I'm
why
worried
the
about.
plastic. But like I just made that little box with tissue paper, and I dumped a bunch of them in there. You're welcome to look at it.
Yeah, can I pick it
don't. Here, I can grab it.
You can also use this thing.
And I can show you how to make the box. It's really easy. You just pull the lid off and look inside. There's little ginger drops inside of there.
Oh, even the bottom is paper.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. Like
Isn't that cute? It would make such a good gift, and you could tie a little bow around or some raffia around the outside.
Because if not, I have to go buy glass jars or something, and that gets,
Well, I already cut some paper for you. If you want to make a box later or take this stuff with you, you can.
Let me see how
simple.
This is really messy.
Isn't that fun?
So you're using the candy thermometer?
Yeah, it just doesn't really attach right, so I'm holding it.
And you don't stir it at all?
Nope.
And it doesn't burn?
Caramel you stir, but you don't have to stir hard candy.
Okay.
Usually caramels have some kind of cream in them, which is more susceptible to burning. But if it's just sugar and water, you can boil it for a while before it gets nasty.
red and green makes dark.
And that's all that candy is, sugar and water? It's like rock
Corn
candy.
syrup. Corn syrup.
So this thermometer, it doesn't live here, does it?
No, it's mine. I thought for sure we would have it here.
Is he here? Oh, okay.
He
I
has
thought he
a
was.
class, and this thing starts when his class.
What is he teaching?
He's not teaching, he's just having.
Oh, he's taking a
It's
class.
Tai Chi.
Ooh, that sounds really good. Have you ever done Tai Chi with him?
Yeah, he teaches.
Is that the same thing? It's very relaxing.
It's a really good one.
Thank you so much. I'm excited about it.
they do.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to finishing it.
Or you could just like do a joke on there.
Yeah. Well, I love Squeeze Me. It could be really good. And you can hang it in an area of your house where you really want to get hugs. Like right over your bed.
This is random. My sister was a teenager and she got coconut cream.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And I cooked because I always make pumpkin pie with coconut milk, and you know, and it was like caramel.
And is it refined so that you don't taste the coconut, or is?
Hey, what temperature is that at, Amelia?
You don't taste it?
It's so
Or
good.
you're not
I
Amelia, I'm
make,
sorry.
So of course I just use fresh pumpkin.
We're good.
And then I do everything is 2. So it's 2 cups of pumpkin, 2 eggs, and then it's a can of coconut milk, which is 2 cups.
2 cups, okay.
And then I use like, if I'm like a half a cup of, or a quarter a cup of like honey, sugar, maple syrup, whatever. And then I'm quite friendly with ginger and cinnamon, so I load that up and put salt.
Yeah.
But everything is 2, it's so easy.
Yeah, that is easy. I love that.
So I don't think we're quite ready yet, but I think it's gonna go better
Eat it
this
sweet and
time.
salty all.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm just dipping the knife in oil so it doesn't stick.
Oh, okay.
And they're not quite as set as I'd like them to be. And with caramel, it's like you don't really want to cut it before it's set because it'll just fuse back together. So I'm just going to leave it for now. But it's definitely going already better than it did last time. So I think it'll be good.
It'll be okay.
I'm going to check on those reeds.
All right, we're about to be set to pop here. This is corn syrup.
I don't know, if I wanted to make it like. She's over here.
Not quite impressive yet.
What's that?
And you can go smaller or larger ones you see.
Not with all of these.
Depending on how
All right, thanks.
That didn't make
Grab more of these, or you can do little spots.
That's all right, actually. I think I like it. Yeah, thank you.
Technically, something's not impressive if you don't know how it was made.
I guess that's true.
You can look at a phone and not know what it is.
Yeah.
And be like, what's so great about that?
Exactly.
You know?
I'm going to give it to my dad.
If you stir in that lemon and ginger, you want to make sure you're using a longer handled spoon because it will close and bubble.
Oh.
You get a pretty bad burn if you're standing right over it. So I just stirred it in.
Why is it frozen?
But the one over his door, you'll love it.
Just because it's easier to shave.
Oh, okay. I grow all my own ginger, and when I harvest it, I can't possibly use it all. So I just put it in the freezer. And that's mostly how I use my ginger, is I just get a zester and I just grate it.
Yeah.
He used to be so hands-on, my dad.
I didn't either, but I just tried it. So I was like, what am I going to do with all this stuff, you know? And now I just grate. It's almost like having a powder, you know, once you've zested it, basically. But it's fresh.
Do you grow it indoors?
I grow it on my deck in a 7-gallon pot.
Several more of these guys.
I'm done. I harvest it before winter. And then some of the harvest I put in peat moss in a paper bag just up in a cabinet, and I plant it in March. So I just like have my own seed stock going. Yeah, that's amazing. Why am I not doing that?
Now that's a pretty little.
So I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
What's in there is just pieces of ginger, which doesn't bother me, but some other people may want to like sift it a little bit.
What's the name of this thing? I have a big one in my driveway. You said it's the biggest thing you ever saw.
Yeah, what is that?
Okay, well if you remember, I don't.
I might remember.
Yeah,
It looks.
okay.
It's not.
I thought it was Mahonia, but it's not Mahonia, right?
I don't think so.
Anyway,
Okay.
if it comes to you.
I don't see her, so let's look at her in a minute.
guys
So
just poke
when
it
it
away
starts
over
to
there.
set, we want to go ahead and score it. Because once it gets super hard, you won't be able to cut
When
it.
the peppermint patty's gonna be
What is
ready?
that foam? Whenever they're ready.
Or is that just hardening?
There's always like a little patch that's thicker than the rest, and so the sugar starts to harden on the outside. But once you've dusted it in powdered sugar, you won't be able to tell the difference. It's no big deal.
I mean, a part of it feels very.
So we're kind of just letting it cool until it's just pliable, and then we'll make our score marks. Like the size bag that you have.
It
It may make that many. This is a smaller pan, so they may be thicker and fewer.
Yeah,
But I got a quarter pan, before, thinking that it would fill it nicely and be thin, but it was actually too big, and so it was spreading out, and I was like, oh no, and I was trying to keep it.
Yeah.
So I used a smaller pan this
Okay.
time.
That's what I was trying to think of. What should I put it in? I wonder.
Can we use one of those green things out there?
We can use anything you want.
Okay.
The green thing, green strawberry, sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Really, I have not made this up.
These aren't spinning as fast as I thought they would.
Let's put them in the fridge.
Good, I just can't really pick them up.
Let's get
do you have
a
a,
flat. Here you go. No. What is this? It's an art project.
Yeah, that would work, wouldn't
It's an art project.
Oh, somebody's.
She's got something.
Somebody's stuff. And then we do the salt when it's still wet, is that correct? I mean, it makes, of course, sense.
So it's the last step.
The very last thing, you just sprinkle it on top? Okay.
And I think I personally think that when you don't put too much, it looks really nice because it's just a real light texture.
Okay.
Like, you know, when you see snow, it's just a super light texture.
Yeah.
It's just flurry.
Right, right.
It's not solid.
Okay.
So, and for these, I have like watercolor paint in tube.
Yeah.
And I use that. It's just nicer and it's nicer for the children too. Like, it's real.
Yeah, yeah. He has a nice watercolor set himself.
Yeah, I'm a believer.
Yeah, yeah. We do the same thing. It is really nice, and he loves it.
Daddy, are you making another one for us?
I am making one that I'm gonna start, and you and Mommy can finish it and decorate the outside with stuff that you find in the forest. But I'm gonna start it. Okay?
That's a great idea.
That way.
Are they gonna be
Hold on, don't get your finger where there's a knife here.
Are they gonna be like that? Yeah, they look sticky. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I guess my parchment wasn't greased as well as I thought.
Oh, is that what's happening? Okay. Will they come off better once they're dried? Is that
maybe?
Oh, I'm just okay.
Oh my gosh, they're so good. I know, I'm taking another.
Go for a walk. I just gotta tell the boys. They'll let me go out there. Queen Street is just amazing, gorgeous. Love it up there. The girls backpacking long ago up there.
Which are the camera?
Can I have one for my mom and my sister? Can I give one for my dad?
Yeah, hold on. Let's let them cool a little bit more, okay?
I'm gonna give one to my mom and my
It's like
sister.
taffy. That's
Did you know, would you like a caramel to my sister?
Hold on.
caramel.
Okay, we're gonna put them back in the fridge now, okay?
Is that what you just made?
No. This is the caramel. But it's not quite set yet.
No, this is a caramel.
So we're putting it back.
That's the coconut one that you want, sure,
Yeah.
right? It's delicious. Oh yeah, it tastes really.
Better place to start or not, or necessarily.
You look at it. Where the top and the bottom is, start
I think I did mine where they
Still
were
a
all
little bit
growing
sticky.
downward. Is it better to have them look like they're growing up?
Is that why it's breaking?
We should like heat up the cutter with a torch.
It doesn't matter. It looks like it's.
We have some very excited people here now.
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, it's just too wet. Let's wait a minute. Is that pan hot?
And so if you want to have a strong ginger taste, you just put more ginger. Is that how they make the ginger candies?
I don't know. Probably.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, they're more gingery than the other ones.
The guy that owns Deerfields, I remember now, he makes his own
I
wreaths.
started cutting it, but it's still too hot.
Be really beautiful. He goes out and finds
But you
certain
can
pictures.
taste
He
it.
puts a lot of, animal parts on them.
Oh, yeah, so it sort of crumbles.
I think whatever,
Yeah, whatever you can find that's natural.
Oh, the flavor's really good though. Isn't it? Yeah. That's really good.
Can I try this one right here?
So all white pork. And minerals okay, I don't take stars out of my.
Maybe add a little bread and just to hide that knot to make it look really finished and nice.
This sugar might have gotten a little too hot.
It's the most amazing thing when it's hot.
Invoice for an uneven on ingredients. Yeah.
Is that the caramel one?
Mm-mm. This is the ginger one. Lemony ginger one.
You said lemon.
Lemon and ginger.
Oh, it runs through the year?
Yeah, it's a year round.
Oh, okay.
If you go and look at the background, and so we have
Can we dunk some of the fresh pieces in this chocolate?
Sure, if you want.
Hallelujah.
Chocolate ginger candies?
Yes. Yes. Ginger's good too. But what's the powder on there? Is it like a sugar powder or is it a?
On that, it's just confectioner sugar, just sifted on top.
Helps it not stick.
Which one? They're not quite ready yet.
Yeah, they're pretty hot.
The ones that are ready.
Which ones?
Can I try one with?
You guys are gonna be off the chain later.
What's the serving size? Like 3 chocolate chips?
I think so.
Sometimes I'll put spots too close together. What's the name of the school? Whatever, like my spots are being.
I looked at the serving size of a Hershey's Kiss, and it's 2.
Half of it?
2.
Right on.
So they're like, XOXO, or something.
Right on.
But Chips Ahoy cookies are really bad.
Oh yeah.
They say 1 cookie.
It's just enough. Just a dabble do you.
Oh shit, I can't wait till they're ready. Comments. Dad would never admit it.
Yeah. But one of them is meant for you. We'll find out which one.
I don't think I can get any of them out.
Oh, they might be really, really stuck in here. I can pull one out for you if you want. Yeah, that's right. Now I'm remembering it was really hard to get mine out of there too.
Yeah, and you
have
your
daughter is
question mark out. That's really, all video ever is. Video
Done.
is just big, tiny.
Yeah. Okay, so now you have to pick your background color. Do you want to sew on white, or dark blue, or gray, or light blue? Okay. Can I see your needle for a second? I'll load you up here. That's okay.
Okay. You can take
Just a lot of different folds.
This is sewing. I'm just gonna get this attached.
A box. To put candy in.
So see how there's half of an extra? 70, 80,
All these what?
Someday. We'll just cut the audio out of this so we can show people how to make it.
And what you get at AC1.
We're just going to see their hands and we're going to do the audio past that. Oh, the exodus!
Oh, I gotta watch better.
It's your very first one. It has to be.
Oh, I didn't pay attention. That's okay. I want you to do the next one. I'm gonna make the lid now. Okay. The same process, except you just leave a little space in a couple of the folds on the lid to make it slightly bigger. So I fold it in half, and I fold it in half again. I make
You guys probably done.
like a 4 square, and I fold all the corners in. Just like a cootie maker. What do you call this? You know the cootie maker. What do you call this?
Origami.
No. Yeah, but my mother says to pick. You don't know what I'm talking about? The thing that goes like this. The fortune teller. The fortune teller. Thank you. We always do it with cooties or something. But
This is how you start
So
it.
that's a little sloppy, but folding all into the center.
Okay.
And then for the box, I took the sides and folded them in exactly to the center.
Okay.
For the lid, I will fold them just outside of center.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that the box will be a tiny bit bigger than the bottom. Lid, that is, will be a tiny bit bigger than the bottom. And sometimes with the lid, I have to like unfold and refold because it needs to be just like a squidge bigger. Okay. So there's that. And then to do the other side, I'm going to open this. And then fold. For the box, I would have folded all the way to center. For the lid, I'm going to fold just outside of center.
What we cut off of the bottoms of the trees, they always kept and made.
Next year, we're going to do.
And then I basically, this is the weirdest part, but I basically, this is the side. And then I want to pick up the end so it has to fold in to itself, kind of like a
Celebrity guest, Aretha Franklin, come on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you'll, I mean, when you're touching it, it's way easier. You're welcome to grab some paper and go for it. Then I fold the end over and make the side. So again. And there's that.
That's really awesome. Can you make that again? Can I see it
Yeah,
again?
totally. I'll make another. So then you just gotta try it on for size
till
and
it-
make sure. Like I might want to unfold that one and oh no,
You got it, you got it. That's cool. I love
I'm
it.
making these with a shorthand.
It's super easy. Actually, the thicker paper is harder to do. But what
Yeah, I
did
noticed
was-
that. It was hard to
You made a
fold.
square. Can I do it at the same time as you?
Totally.
So you, would
wanna
you
do
say
one
that
while
you
we're doing
wouldn't use
it?
cardstock
Fold in half once, unfold it, and fold in half the other way. So you've got 4 squares.
Here's a lot of this purple stuff.
I realized that I didn't put the wreath wide, the greens wide enough, and too much straw was showing. If you look back at the wreath on the side, I was going to show.
No, I'm okay.
So I got to put some more into the base.
Back to the poking board, they call it.
So now all. Yeah, that's really fun.
Really a special material.
So now unfold everything, and all 4 corners come to the point in the center.
Wow.
As neatly as you can, but again, you saw how I did it last time. It still worked out. It was pretty sloppy. Whoa, I just got a whiff of that evergreen, and it smelled delicious.
Oh gosh, that's
Driving down to the car.
Smells really good. I bet.
It's really like, this smells like Christmas.
Yeah. Okay, so now that you've got your envelope looking thing, you take one side and you're gonna fold it in to the center.
It's really stiff, isn't it?
It is. And then take your other side and fold it into the center.
I really wish that I was photographing what you're doing.
I can send you a link to an online tutorial.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I have it on my desktop.
Because I'm going to do this again. Like this, I'll do.
Okay, now unfold those two. What number are you? So it looks like this.
So far, 5 and 700.
And then pull these flaps out. And then turn it this way. And then you're going to fold these into the center.
I didn't want to ask because I didn't want to mess you up.
Thanks for organizing this awesome event.
Yeah, it's fun.
Belting gone wild over there, huh?
If you want to make like
Yeah, that's awesome.
I make kernels just by poking.
I'll show you.
So we want to be sure that picture the 3 wreaths. We'll use it to come up next week.
This is the base of the box, basically this biggest separation. So you pick up, actually that's the side of the box, my bad. So pick up the side and then pull the end forward and you're gonna want it to just like crease right there to make a corner.
You buy the form in the vines?
On both sides or just one?
Let's do one at a time, and you're gonna go.
But these you can buy like this, or you can buy just in the grass version like that.
to do like a face.
Yeah. So tell me, am I out of balance somewhere? This is
Right here.
okay. Big hole at the top, or is it just sticking out? Okay. Is it missing something here, or not necessarily? Okay. I'm gonna go there, and then maybe shave a little nanotube. Oh, I like that nanotube.
And then you fold the end down to make, to secure it. And then you can do the other side.
This is awesome. I'm really into. Have you seen my books that I make?
No.
I make all these books that you find. I'm really into
What are you making the boxes for?
The candy.
Okay.
Sounds like an opportunity to make a different design, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Check it out. Progress is being made.
Wow. And that one
And
I'm
here too.
terrible. Look how bad I am.
You're not terrible. I disagree. I politely disagree. You're just saying that to make me feel better because I just messed up so badly. Which I appreciate very much.
I am so not.
It's okay, no need to deny it. I understand.
No, I'm
I
telling
do
the
the same
truth.
thing.
I am
Isn't
so
she sweet? Trying to make me feel better.
What?
Are you still having fun with it?
No.
But that's how you make. You can use it for anything. So you can do that same thing. You can do it with these too. Check it out. We have them down here. And you can take these. What are these? Now that you don't know what that is.
Is this your school name?
So you can make a cube with those. See how much you can make 10 cubes. When you make 10 into a cube, you can see how much you get.
And I cut some right away from that paper. It is a square.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They didn't have it back there. You did. Yeah. She didn't believe me when I first told her.
You stay just a little
What are you talking about?
like this, right?
Yeah, when you make something like this, just in such a short period of time, you feel like really.
Asha? This is the start of yours.
Okay, just one though.
You can just have fun finishing it. You know what I mean?
I'm going to make the top of this box so that I master this go.
Just one, okay?
Oh, it's still a little bit hard.
Leaving it to you though.
Just like now hard?
They look like mouth bars. You're right. They do. I thought they looked like, well, you haven't in a while, but